Yeah, and it's one of those things where vanilla or randomizer, it really translates. Like Zelda is a very skill slash combat oriented type of game. Yes, there's learning routing, there's learning some of the key concepts of randomizer, but having all that vanilla skill already there really helps whenever you're trying to move through hard rooms, navigate dungeons and whatnot. It really does translate back and forth between both of them. So again, we'll have a really good race here tonight, I believe, and I think it'll come down to what's in level 7.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the brackets?
Yeah, so brackets. Yeah, let me look that up real quick, because I actually haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the flags. I know it's 5 Triforces. The main big difference, I believe, is there's an HP change, so it's ±4, which can really mess with you one way or the other. You can get 13 HP Blue Wizrobes, which stinks, but at the same time, you can get 1 HP Vire and 1 HP Orange Wizrobe, so there's a lot of good things that can happen. Also, for our entertainment as trackers and commentators and viewers, there are no level headers, so we don't have any idea what dungeon they're in until we do a little bit of investigating to figure out what exactly is going on.
We've got the Armos item is the blue boomerang, and the book is sitting along the coast. So, yeah, mixed bag on that front, but Amo's going to be the first to pick up a weapon, has now the blue candle. I didn't see Redbird get that yet. But should soon. A lot of Lionels throwing around their sword beams on the overworld is not the nicest thing to start a seed off with.
Yeah, Lionels of the Overworld is really difficult early on without some way to either stun them or kill them. There's a lot of screens that are really difficult to deal with those particular enemies on them. So we'll see how that works out for them.
That gives us a little bit of a picture of what's available. The candle will give you a pretty good judge of the hit points that a lot of these overworld enemies have. And they seem to be finding out so far that a lot of them are pretty nice. Don't think we've seen a Lionel kill, though.
Yeah, Bomb Droppers rolling low enough HP for things to die to is super nice. It makes it a lot easier to get started on the overworld anyways and get some of these bomb locations taken care of. Papers, please.
Good old Indiana Jones.
So far, not too much found. Looks like, Blue Moblin's not going to cooperate as far as the candle goes, but we have a gigantic there at 145.
Gonna have less of them because it's a second quest overworld, but it is a nice big one for what we have. Yeah, blue ring cap located. It's been interesting to see how much the blue boomerang has been in play in this tournament. It's one of the adaptations. When people aren't seeing as many levels, a lot more people have been inclined to go for that blue ring instead of counting on the red ring being available.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be hard to do now, right? We have a second quest to Overworld. The 145, that's the only large secret on the map. That's the other important thing here, is that's second quest Overworld. So they found the only large secret available to them. And so, with the fact that the book is available on the coast, I don't see either of them buying a blue ring until they've had the opportunity to check those hints, just because there's not going to be a lot of money available.
So second quest overworld does change things up, but the dungeon's still the first quest dungeons, so the ones that people are more familiar with. Although our entrance has changed, that's consistent from the Swiss flags. So both these runners have already played several matches with that in play.
Yeah, and it can really throw you for a loop too, especially without the dungeon number or the dungeon headers being there. You know, there's some levels that are pretty similar. Like if you enter the top of 3 and 1, they can be very similar and be deceptive. Same thing with you know, the bottom and having, you know, 1 and 8. There's a lot of different places that can confuse you. And 7's one of those that you have so many entry points that you can think, oh, I'm not in level 7, and in fact you are. And 10 rooms later, you're like, crap.
So we've seen A levels so far. I think we've only seen the one. Great thing about an early candle with our start location is a lot of burn bushes to investigate. And we find 9, which is not far from start.
Yeah, always nice to get that one out of the way. Redbird going to find that soon as well. It's nice to find, because you hate getting 5 Triforces and still having to search half the overworld. Knowing that that's not under a recorder spot or a power bracelet spot is going to be very nice. And we find bombs for 9 rupees.
That is a very affordable amount, and will probably get some use in this seed. So other than levels, what might they be looking for right now, Agent?
Oh, maybe a bow, possibly silver arrows. They should be useful. We do have to kill Ganon. Outside of that, a ladder is always very helpful, especially with the book on the coast, as the hints or anybody that says anything in general are going to say papers, please, until you have acquired the book, in which case you could start actually acquiring some hints and maybe some useful information.
You know, if you can throw a wood sword in along the way, nobody's going to complain about that.
I don't know about that. I like swordless. We could do it. Magical.
Saw that in Router's Relish in one of the battle royales. Somebody went swordless for most of the seed, which incidentally was Captain Green, who is one of the potential opponents of the winner of this match. The winner here gets the winner of Captain Green and Amazing Toaster.
It's a rough matchup either way. Brackets are not going to be kind to anybody. There's no easy matchup, no free game at all. Especially with these flags, anything can happen. So it'll be fun to watch.
Covering a lot of similar territory. It actually seems like Amo is maybe able to cover the overworld a little bit faster than Redbird has so far.
And we have a dungeon. This could be level 1.
Yeah, before this tournament, you could start to figure out the shape of a vanilla dungeon pretty quickly. It gets a bit more confusing when you're starting in a different spot in the dungeon.
Definitely not level 1.
3 rooms along the bottom, would that be 8?
This is going to be likely level 6.
No, got that tag. Got that tail for it, but...
And he's just going to say nope and head on out, which I can't blame him. You know, you got to kind of weigh your options here. How much exploration in a dungeon do you want to do until you find what Redbird just found, which would be the wooden sword?
That's not in the quickest spot to get to. Amo could do a lot of exploration before getting up there.
I think Redbird kind of prioritizing the Armo statues, and in doing so ran into that wood sword pretty quickly. So that should help him out here, and we'll see what else he can find in the grave area.
I'm a little surprised that he would prioritize the Armos. That was the blue boomerang.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about that. So yeah, I don't know. He just routed over here. It works.
Maybe he was going for the open caves, though, since at that point you would be narrowed down to Death Mountain for it.
I mean, to be fair, he could have forgotten that he got the Armos item. He does forget things a lot. He says it in his own stream. So, you know, I've done it too. I was like, why can't I find the Armos item? Because it was the first thing I found, you know, 20 seconds in. I think we've all been there at one point.
Cheap? Well, I guess the red medicine is cheaper than the blue. At least
So
the double blue.
an interesting purchase by Redbird. He bought meat.
He is one who likes to have the money in the bank for hints. So I'm a little surprised at that purchase, but at the same time, if you get there, find the bait block, well, hey, then you've already got it instead of looking for it. But I definitely find myself in the camp of I'd rather need it first.
Yeah, and we just saw one of the hint caves there, and they are expensive. So not likely to be able to get those on his side anyways. But, you know, at the same time, you're running into a bunch of pay doors. Yeah, you might as well spend your money instead of lose it.
Different levels found in sync.
Let's just hope the Backstreet Boys don't show up.
If they do, we'll send the new kids to kick them off the block.
As long as they do it when it's not 98 degrees outside.
If that was another reference, I didn't get it. Anyways.
And it's a Triforce.
Y-Force. I don't think he wanted that one, although he only had one key, and I'm not sure I'd want to spend it on an unknown level.
Well, I mean, that's level 5, so he's going to go back in. Question is, which way he's going to go? South? South is probably the best choice. Man, and maybe rewarded right away as Amo finds the power bracelet in this dungeon that he's in. In level 7, so let's see if that actually pays off for him. Because I don't think Redbird's going to enter that dungeon and search for that item.
Redbird finds himself there. He's going to get out as soon as he finds it's 7, unless it's a quick item pickup, which I would assume it was if Amo got it that fast.
Yeah, it looked like it was about 8 or 9 rooms in. So we'll see what happens. I'll see what happens if Redbird finds that dungeon. But yeah, I mean that's 7 locations that are now available to Amo that Redbird is not going to have access to yet. So we'll see exactly what happens here as he's trying to get bombs.
One of these differences, you've got the second quest enemies, so we've got the red bubbles. And they will steal your sword until you do something that gives it back.
He left the bombs and then he candle boosted to try to go through the door and then realized that he didn't have a key. Like, we've all done it. It's okay. You're so worried about not losing your sword that you forget that you don't have keys. That's great. Finds the tea room. Just no way to go in this level 5. There's a couple of bomb options, but we do see that Amo finds another grave.
We are finding the levels fast and furious in this stretch.
He does have a key. He's going to go ahead and use it here. And we'll see what dungeon this ends up being. This could be 2. This could be 1. This could be 8. Could be 4 as well. There's a lot of options available here, and that is not a nice enemy to see at a choke point. Weasel, no walk through walls.
Well, it's second quest rooms, isn't it?
No second quest rooms either.
You're gonna make me check my notes. Oh no, you're right. It's first quest dungeons.
Papers, please.
Just second quest enemies. That's what I was thinking and confused myself.
Amo gonna try it. Unfortunately, not able to get through that Gliok. We'll see if he goes back in and tries it again. Meanwhile, Redbird's still running around level 5 here, looking for that Triforce. Or not? Never mind, not the Triforce. Looking for something. The item, maybe.
You know, something might be a good answer because there's a lot Redbird needs right now. You're not going to turn your nose up at heart containers, keys, Triforces, bombs.
Yeah, I mean,
he got good bombs, but
unfortunately, I mean, he got 2 or 3 keys in that dungeon and just he ended up using them all and didn't find anything, unfortunately. Yeah, as Jacob pointed out, in the Elite 8, we will have mixed quest dungeons, which will allow second quest rooms to be in first quest dungeon layouts just because of the randomized rooms.
I like Amo doing the power bracelet checks. When you've got an item that gives you a potential advantage, it can't give you an advantage unless you use it. So, makes sense to prioritize some routing therein.
That's right. And he's gonna grab a potion. I like this purchase. Like, this is a good purchase. Red bubbles suck. And that potion allows you to get your sword back. You know, if you're deep in a dungeon, that'll be nice to have.
And there's the sword for Amo. Gonna come at 15 minutes. Almost 7 minutes exactly behind when Redbird got it.
Yeah, and the 15-minute sword kind of feels bad, but you're glad to get it. He's done quite enough, you know, exploration. He hasn't wasted a lot of time in dungeons, so he's done a lot of overworld searching in the middle of that time. And you know, now that he has his sword, he can start actually checking dungeons and finding stuff.
Yeah, I'm as guilty as looking at the timer as anybody with expectations, but I do think you kind of have to distance yourself from the time and look at the seed. And the seed, okay, this was a weird place from where we started to get to for that wood sword, so taking this long to get here doesn't feel very bad for this seed. And you look
not
at
at
it,
all.
Redbird's got 1 Triforce and no dungeon items, I think, in the difference in times.
And Amo, and using that boomerang to good effect here. Oh, that's a rough screen, Lionel's to have on.
Extremely rough, especially for how far back it sets you. All the way over here on the coast.
And Redbird digging through this dungeon, we find that red wizrobes are, in fact, extraordinarily beefy. And I believe this was level 6 that he's actually taking a peek into. That we didn't see this portion from Amo, so we'll find out if Redbird finds anything useful in here.
Very short on dungeon items for all the ones we've ducked into so far, but I dare say, are we looking at a key-starved seed as we get the wand for Redbird?
Yeah, not exactly what you're looking for, but it's a very nice combat upgrade. Won't do him a heck of a lot of good in here with all the wizrobes, but yeah, I mean, keys are not plentiful at all. But granted, we have not found 1, 2, or 3 yet, which are usually pretty plentiful with keys. So hopefully, eventually, we'll come by those.
Great thing about the wand, though, red bubbles can't take it.
That is very true. So thus far, not too much of anything out of the power bracelet locations.
Well, these ropes.
Goodness gracious. I think that's 8 HP. Yeah, it looks like 7 or 8 HP. That's crazy. RBG is in level 6.
Yeah, that shape pretty well stands out. He'll even give you the map to confirm.
Papers, please. All right, have my map. Yeah, and I mean, keys. If he doesn't get a key here, I don't think he can explore the rest of the dungeon. And he does get one, so kind of lucks out. He's going to try to bomb, I think. But, man, just keys not being plentiful at all thus far. And these, gosh, these things are beefy too. The like-likes. This is bad HP rolls for some of the crappier enemies of the game.
This is where you have to think on your feet, and because Redbird did, he now has 2 keys instead of just 1. How about these Vires, though, seem to be low HP?
Always nice. Look, some deadly spaghetti.
See them in rooms. And key problems are solved for Amo.
What a find. And even the wall masters. Goodness gracious. And all that work for nothing.
I'm trying to keep my notes up. Was that wand in level 6?
Yes, wand in level 6. So RBG gonna bomb these blue wizrobes. He took 2 already.
Oh, how nice is that?
Wow. Thanks,
You
game.
find the mugger right after the any key. That's pretty sweet.
We have 13 HP blue Wizrobes as Redbirdgrad gets his Triforce. Wow, the HP rolls are insane.
Well, give a little, take a little.
And Recorder for Amo out of level 8, so has access to everything but the 2 raft locations. That is a good feeling. Well, and I suppose the 2 bomb locations, so, but either way, very nice find.
Well, now you get a Triforce and be that much closer. Redbird does have 2 of the 5 needed to access level 9. Well, you do have to kill Ganon. That'll be consistent throughout the tournament, so you'll need bow, you'll need silvers, need a sword. Which one is flexible?
Yeah, I mean, no bow or silvers yet. Both could be in level 9 for all we know. That would be pretty interesting.
Two ladder locations because it's the second quest overworld, and also the 2 raft locations. I think you mentioned the raft, though. If not, I know you were thinking it.
Yeah, 2 raft locations and 2 ladder locations will be all that's left for Amo to not have access to. Ladder, obviously, one of those things you want to get with the book on the table, but not always required to get through the seed.
Redbird for sure has enough heart pieces now for the white sword item, which we've yet to locate.
This is the, what, 3rd Tridongo room inside this level 8 here for Amo. That's crazy. More deadly spaghetti.
Redbird now has the letter. That's going to be very a welcome sight with these second quest enemies.
Yeah, I mean, on your last take any, you generally want to grab one. He's got 6 hearts, so he'll likely grab one out of there. But just having that letter to grab extra ones, or if you have extra money to pick one up too, is always nice. And an unfortunate death for Amo there at the bottom. He's going to leave level 8 without a Triforce.
Question chat, is it Pentaforce? Yes, it is. That's the theme of the tournament. It will be 5 pieces of Triforce, standard level 9. There's our, I think that's the second hint shop.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and up an A. He does have the recorder, so he can check that spot directly to the west of the start location, but it looks like he's going to head down to the coast. Meanwhile, RBG finds what I believe was level 7. I didn't see the first few rooms of it, but I think this was level 7.
Getting some keys, which is not bad. For as hard as it was to get them early, I think 3 has got to feel pretty nice right now.
No, this is not level 7, so I'm not sure what this is. I'm just making things up. Alright, so Amo finds a staircase.
Oh, Goma, nobody likes you.
Oh,
especially not without bow.
This might actually be the level 7, which would be comical.
Well, we got a transport staircase, so...
Yeah, and Amo in level 5, and he's going to be able to check a few of these spots that RBG wasn't able to, due to the fact that he didn't have any keys. So we'll see if he's able to find a Triforce out of here. And yeah, this is definitely level 7, and I think RBG realizes it now.
Well, you're already here. Not that you want to buy into sunk cost, but there's no reason not to pass on easy enemy sets and easy exploration.
Yeah, we know the item is actually down south. So it'd be interesting to see if he finds a Triforce, if he goes back in, or how much time he's really going to sink into this dungeon, which we've so far had no use out of, as the power bracelets have not led to anything.
So right there was a good example of the power of having a boomerang. Plenty of runners like to go without it, but being able to pick up those bombs from sitting in the middle where you wouldn't have access to them otherwise. Something you can't do without a boomerang.
Yep, indeed. Nice manhandle kill there by Redbird. These ropes. I cannot believe the HP rolls by everything in this seed. Other than the Vires, they've been absolutely nasty. And so far, Amo having absolutely no luck locating this Triforce in level 5. Still 25 minutes in now and no Triforce. That's always a bad feeling in these flags.
Absolutely. You want to always feel like you're making progress, and you're up against Redbird, who, oh, by the way, happened to put up the fastest winning time in the Swiss rounds.
Yeah, pretty
Every
impressive.
Different, but still.
All right, so Redbird does get the Triforce out of 7, while Amo finds the item, which I don't believe Redbird found in level 5, which is the red candle.
Yeah, Redbird didn't get that. He was here a couple minutes ago, but left... I'm sorry, he was here over 15 minutes ago and just left with the Triforce.
Yeah, and he does go ahead and leave, which, again, if the power bracelet doesn't lead to 1, 2, or 3, it's a good choice.
The book is on the coast, just to answer a quick chat question. We've seen it a couple of times. But you have to have the ladder. And the pool of locations that could be is starting to get more narrow. Now, important items are allowed in 9, because it only takes the 5 pieces of Triforce to get in there. So that is not off the table.
Yeah, I mean, we could see Bo and Silvers both in level 9, as Amo unfortunately takes a bop and is going to, yeah, unless he Candle Boost's going to take a death, he's just going to up an A and probably head back that direction again.
If it's quick in the dungeon, it's probably worth it to get the hearts back anyways.
Yeah, his fortunate thing is he has the any keys, so he's able to check these other rooms. The compass was ladder blocked, but he's going to be able to check these rooms that RBG was unable to, at least. And he's going to enter the dungeon that's up here at the grave, which I believe we just thought was level 4. And with that wand, he is likely to be able to kill that Gleeok.
Well, initially this looked like a key-starved seed. Now we're starting to find them. Redbird's up to 4. What a room to fight a Gleeok in.
Yep, he's got a good strategy here, though, and it looks like the HP roll is fairly low, so able to take it out with very little complication and should be able to explore the rest of this dungeon. As we see blue dark nuts in a fireball room, no thank you.
That's never a pleasant sight.
Red bubbles with the wand again, going to make this trivial overall, just because he has the ability to still kill these enemies with the red bubble bobs. So that's very nice.
Question is, how much time will he spend trying to get out of here with the sword? But it lined up well for him, and he does. It becomes another routing decision you have to make. How much time are you willing to invest in getting your sword back?
Yeah, and again, unfortunately, Amo leaving a dungeon without a Triforce. That's the second or third one now that he's explored a ton of and left without actually picking up a Tringle. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him here later on in the seed.
On the Amo side, the biggest thing you can say right now is the items are there. He's gotten the quarter, the magic key, the power bracelet, the red candle. Not picked up the wand yet.
Oh my goodness, there is a level under the power bracelet by start, and it looks like it's level 1.
Alright, this could be big, of course.
Which is
2 items
ladder
at level
blocked.
1.
But it can still contain an item later.
Well, you know the ladder's not going to drop in here, at least.
Very unfortunate. But, well, we do know that there is a dungeon containing 2 items under a power bracelet location, which is located in level 7. let's see how this plays out.
One of the last dungeons Redbird's going to be inclined to go to, but if he's not able to get the items anywhere else, can force you there.
I mean, especially after he got the Triforce already, I don't really see him going back anytime soon, as we find blue dark nuts are also extremely beefy.
Question in chat, can I'll summarize it this way. Can important items be in level 9? And they are allowed to be in level 9 because we only need the 5 pieces of Triforce to get in.
Man, and, you know, even if Amo had gotten through the Guardian Gleeok there, this dungeon is not kind. Rooms full of orange and blue dark nuts all over the place. Tons of HP.
Question in chat, did Amo find anything in level 5? Found the red candle there, which he has out right now. A non-trivial combat weapon. It's medium range, and especially something like the land mollas that can do multiple strikes of damage against them. Redbird's got the raft.
Man, not what you're looking for. That just makes it even more likely that level 1 has something important. Man, look at all these bomb shops all over Hyrule. You can't complain about that at all. And Amo actually going to pick up the arrows. Very interesting purchase without having located the bow yet.
He's seen the Gomas, but of course a Goma can't block the bow. But maybe just a little bit paranoid because he's seen a few of those Gomas along the way.
And Redbird gonna make the tactical decision to bail out of level 4 with all of those dark nuts. I can't say that I blame him, but looking for those other dungeons to get to 5 Triforces now.
I think you really do prioritize items over Triforces in these. Even if you go back into a dungeon, you at least have some working knowledge.
Yeah, and Amo checking these desert recorder spots. The first 2 have come up empty. We'll see if this last one nets anything.
Got to see the power bracelet spot on Amo's side. It's
Oh my goodness! This is massive. This is likely level 3 here underneath the other power bracelet spot. With the ladder! Hello! Wow.
That also means access to the book.
Wow, that's just massive.
So this has got to be level 2 then. Or...
Yes, level 2. You're correct.
That is huge for Amo. Now can you get a Triforce out of here? Get your first. It's 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've bailed out of enough dungeons. I think you have to find the Triforce here, but I can imagine that he's going to beeline back to level 1 as we see another bribe room, and he'll just give him some keys because we have a key.
Wow, could you imagine if Redbird going a different route has to sacrifice 2 max bombs?
Right, for sure. Like, that's big. That's a big deal.
Would you consider foregoing the 3 keys instead, knowing you could purchase some?
No. I don't think you do. I mean, keys are so precious. Unless you're up to like 8 or 9, you're not gonna get rid of 3 keys.
And to answer chat, yes, that was our second mugger room. Amo has had the magic key both times. This is level 2. It's in the power bracelet spot beneath the ferry. South of the ferry.
Man.
Only in any road.
Yeah, I mean, that gives Amo a significant advantage just because, you know, as Redbird finds his any key, which is going to help him a lot, but just, you know, you talk to Redbirdgrad, and his strategy is, I'm not going to dig level 7 ever. And he already did for the Triforce, so him going back for that item is not likely to happen anytime soon. So it's basically Amo with a pretty significant advantage at this point.
Amo getting the first piece of Triforce. That is one thing that is in Redbird's favor. He only needs 2 more pieces of Triforce. Amo's got to pick up 4 from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to head...
Surprised. Well, I guess checking the recorder spots, please, first. But I'm a little surprised Amo not going for the coast to get the book. Even if you don't purchase hints, you've got the dungeon hints.
That is interesting. Oh, as you say it.
But it's right by start. All you had to do was up A.
Now. Oh, I don't know. Man, you said something. Now he's going back, man.
Yeah, he's checking something else. If you wanted to just get the book, you'd up A because it'd only be 2 hearts. He came back to level 1. Or what we think is 1.
So we'll see what's in here. If it is the bow or the silvers, then that's big. Oh, this will be fun. He has the red candle, which will actually help a whole lot with these guys. With just a wood sword, this would be horrific.
Yeah, these guys, not the most fun with their closing speed. It can be deceptively strong when they take those extra hits.
Let's not forget we also have the White Sword Cave out there somewhere still.
That's amazing that we're 36 minutes in and haven't found that yet. For as much as they explored, there is the White Sword.
Yeah, nice upgrade there for Amo. Gonna help with those Wizrobes if they're in level 9. And just everything else in general. So, again, not what you're necessarily looking for, but it is nice to find as RBG grabs his 4th Triforce. Oh, just not quite enough.
I was at the bottom upgrade. I was looking down at my notes.
Yeah, 113.
That's expensive.
Which means there's actually no hint available in this this dungeon, which I believe would... I don't know if we have shuffled hits text on or not, but if not, it would point directly to level 2, which he's already located.
Solid Wife doing a great job for us on tracking, and yes, that was the Triforce and 8 for Redbird.
And that was the silvers for Amo on the ground in 1.
Absolutely huge.
Wow.
Still have to find the bow, although I'd certainly be willing to gamble that it's in 9 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, according to our information, there's only level 3 left other than level 9, I believe.
Yeah, here's what I have so far. Well, we've not found the White Sword item, so that's
that as well,
2 outside of 9, potentially. We've got the White Sword and silvers in 1. We've got the ladder in 2. Unknown for 3. Raft at level 4. Red candle for 5. Level 6 with the wand. Level 7 power bracelet. The magic key is in 8 along with the recorder. And level 1 Triforce picked up for Amo.
Wow. Redbird finds his recorder, but power bracelet being the thing to find. Just unbelievable, as we are going to get a book pickup. We'll see if he heads to those hint caves to maybe get those last few dungeons found that could have something useful.
Power bracelet is absolutely our gatekeeper of this seed, and it's level 7, the worst place it could be from Redbird's perspective.
So nice bomb force there by Redbird.
There's a lot of execution left ahead, but so far this routing has worked out very well for Amo.
I do say that I enjoy the block that RBG has in his Triforce menu with 5, 6, 7, and 8, which are the ones you just absolutely do not anticipate getting whenever you're doing one of these sets. So he finds the hint cave there by start. So, if Amo does check that recorder spot, perhaps we'll be able to get those hints pretty quick. He's going to go back to level 4, it looks like.
Well, you have to get your Triforces from somewhere, and at least it's on the shorter side of the dungeons.
Yeah, RBG up to 9 hearts, checking these recorder spots, and coming up empty-handed.
Where is that silly white sword item hiding on us?
Well, we haven't seen most of Death Mountain, and we also haven't seen the raft locations, so that would be a very interesting thing if perhaps the White Sword Cave was on a raft spot with the bow.
Second quest Overworld, so things can be in strange places.
Yeah, now Amo has to get through this Leok here. Gonna use a potion? Looks like he's gonna use a potion. Beam swords make this super easy. No, until you get bopped, but it's a fairy anyway.
Raft non-trivial as well. Great question in chat. Is the tournament single elimination? It is actually double elimination, so for either runner there is life after tonight. But the battle is that more uphill.
Yeah, you get dropped to the lower bracket, which you have several extra rounds that you have to play through, and it's not going to be any easier than being in the upper bracket by any means. So definitely want to get the W here in the first week. I guess it's actually technically a second week matchup, but either way, it all works out.
I have a standing rule: don't do math while live on Twitch.
Oh, you're going to get a raft spot. And it is...
money.
11 rupees.
I dug this raft out of level 4, and all I got were these lousy 11 rupees.
Oh man, Amo getting trolled so hard by these red bubbles, but fortunately there is a blue bubble in the room. We've seen on several occasions where we end up having, a plethora of red bubble full rooms and no blues to help give your sword back, so nice to have those there. What a nice hint!
Old news. Still valuable, although you realize, of course, you couldn't get that hint without the ladder.
Indeed.
Book was the coast item, so you had to have the ladder to be able to understand the hints, to find out that you needed the ladder for the silver arrows.
Yeah, we'll see how long. I mean, the ladder being in 2 behind a power bracelet is just, it's horrible. RBG's going to check the entire overworld, and then likely get another Triforce and head into 9. And, maybe find the bow, but not going to find the other pieces to the puzzle. I mean, he's going to have to go back to 4 at this point to get a Triforce, and I think that's going to be his play here.
Well, the other thing is, at least once he knows 9 is what? He knows he's missing 3 things going into 9. 4 if you want to count the power bracelet, which we usually don't. But you don't have any of those at this point. So that means, if you've cleared the rest of the overworld, there has to be a couple levels behind the power bracelet.
Yeah, very true. And he is going to go check Death Mountain. So perhaps we will find level 3.
Redbird has not gone back into 4 at this point. He was there at the 31-minute mark is when he got the raft out. Level 4. Did not complete it for the Triforce.
There's 3.
Alright, so a chance to cover new ground, and for Redbird, I think best case scenario is if this is the bow.
Actually, I mean, yes and no. Worst case, it's the bow. It sends him to level 9. If you don't have the bow...
Go to 9.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the bow for
RPG... scenario where I think Amo's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you don't have the bow as RBG out of this dungeon, you have to go somewhere else to find something, which means that he's not going to go to level 9 right away, likely. I say that. I mean, you can still have bow and silvers in 9, so it's or the power bracelet. I mean, like Deerwolf is saying, there's so many options. It's very difficult.
I'm hesitant to try and think I can think like another runner, but it is not lost on anyone, I think, that you're missing level 1 and level 2 at this point. You haven't located them. You know those are 2 levels you want to dig items out of. And you're missing the ladder, the bow, the silvers. Power bracelet, There's Triforce out of 3.
Ladder, bow, silvers, and red ring. Like, there's a lot of really good items left out there as Amo's trying to navigate this room with 10 HP blue dark nuts.
I like this for Redbird. He's going back in here. He's seeing if he can find an item out of a shorter dungeon. He's got to. He can't. You can't get 3 items in level 9.
And Amo, unfortunately, taking a death there. Very difficult to navigate those rooms with a bunch of blue dark nuts in them.
Even harder to navigate a room when a shoot's in the way.
I don't know if he's looking for a compass here, because this dark room cannot drop Triforces. So going to be interesting. Hopefully he gets a compass out of this. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a dead room.
Possibly hard containers with no ring. Although, that'd be a lot of work for a hard container.
Yeah, this is not a fun room to deal with by any means.
Using the refill.
Yeah, I absolutely do not agree with the use of a potion here, just because there's no way that this is the Triforce. And actually, I don't believe it could be the heart container either. Hearts and Triforces cannot appear in dark rooms. So at best, this is going to be a compass.
I'll defend it this way. You gotta commit to the bit. If you're clearing this room, taking a death gets you nothing. This at least gets you a compass in this case.
There you go. I mean,
even if you're making the wrong play, you have to commit to it to make sure you don't have that question mark lingering.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's just one of those things that Amo didn't know. Because, again, if you don't know all of the ins and outs of the randomizer, you wouldn't know that a dark room is not going to contain, the Triforce or the heart container. But at least he knows where to go now for the Triforce. I don't think it was the blue dark nut room that he died in, which is fortunate. So we'll see how quickly he can get a hold of this.
So for those who may not know Amo does... there it is,
Oh
the
my
bow
gosh!
is in 3. That is the only thing I think could help Redbird here, and that's what it was.
What a seed, man! Holy crap!
Okay, here's good news, bad news. Silvers could be in 9, and it makes sense to go there. So Redbird's probably beelining it for 9 now.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, man.
He won't get hints because he doesn't have the book, because he doesn't have the ladder to get the book.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to full clear 9 now, which is just rough.
The one thing that it does for you, though, is even when the items are not here, you get the exploration done towards finding Ganon, finding Zelda.
Yeah, that's the silver lining here. Again, we're playing, omnipotently. We have, knowledge, which is very helpful when, you're doing randomizer. Redbird has no idea about the power bracelet. That 1 and 2 are both blocked by the power bracelet, and both are required. So, he's, by all intents and purposes, making the correct play. That's what's so crazy about these flags. There's really not a wrong play, just because everything's based on the knowledge that you have. As he finds quickly the first item, which is fantastic for him.
Right, he's that much closer to finding out that Level 9 does not hold the answer, but it's a lot of rooms to go through to find out. You've got to search another dungeon. Triforce for Amo.
Yeah, and RBG, unfortunately, face taking a few of those red bubbles, so is going to lose his sword, but fortunately does have the wand available to actually take out a few things. So Patrick is not on your list of things you want to deal with.
No, but you're looking at that shutter door and thinking, oh boy, do I have to do this on just the wand?
Got the wrong eye, got it stuck in the expansion pattern. Low HP, though, on the orbits. Level 3 was at B1 on the map, so it would be up on Death Mountain. It's just south of Second Quest Vanilla 9.
Redbird has left 9.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him.
Did
Gonna
he
go get
see
some.
the other item? Or
No.
is this just a gamble?
He's gonna go get bombs and maybe some HP? No, he's whistling. Is he gonna do it? That's level 3. He's gonna check. He's still looking for level 1 and 2. He doesn't know the locations of 1 and 2, and he still has lots of spots on Death Mountain to check. So unfortunately, again, gonna spend a lot of extra time here for no gain whatsoever.
Could find the white sword item, and
True.
that still has the red ring is at large. Probably the most useful thing we do not know yet.
Man, if it is the the second quest magical sword push block, that would just be horrific. As we do see Amo gets his 4th Triforce.
We'll need one more to go into 9. Makes perfect sense that you would go into 9 just needing the bow.
Yeah, and I mean, like, how long until he goes to Death Mountain, right? Like, this is crazy.
So many questions. And both runners have to kind of feel the clock ticking at this point.
And that Mexi in chat making a great point. It could be the 2 bomb spots that require the ladder as well. Like, this is amazing. I'm not sure where Amo's going. I guess this dungeon right here by start. Level 6, I believe this was.
Redbird's getting low on health here. Ooh, that fairy helps.
The caster reverse curse?
We should mention, by the way, Redbird uses a red-colored sprite, so he is still on green tunic. Especially 50 minutes in, that bears mention.
And finds a bomb shop at no bombs. Like, that's the best feeling ever. Use your last bomb, find the 4th bomb shop on the map.
Especially when it's cheap bombs.
Has RBG checked the coast or that spot? I don't know that we've seen that either.
I don't think so. We've seen Vanilla 4.
Now, we've seen nothing up here because Amo took a death early on and never actually came back up here. J-Drug with the knowledge, thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, this is still anybody's race. There's not going to be a whole lot of locations left for Redbird to check once he figures out that he has to find a power bracelet in order to do something. So he's going to have the knowledge required. It's just going to be where does he go to try to find it. Meanwhile, Amo has to get his Triforce, go back to likely to level 9, and then go find level 3 to get to the bow.
You know, as I said before, I'm reluctant to try and get in any runner's head, but when you're just missing one item and you have the hints, I just can't imagine not going into 9 only needing one item.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely the right play. You can't take the gamble that it's not, I think, at this point. You've got silvers, you've got ladder, the any key, so you could get to every room. You can, and I mean, the banana's early on, right? We found the boomerang. We'll see if that maybe changes his mind. You know, finds that one item, knows that he still has level 3 out there. I still think you search level 9 because you have so much overworld still left to check for level 3. But we'll see exactly what he chooses to do.
I think we're seeing it out of Redbird. He knows there's only a couple places he can look for an item still. And something's got to be blocking him from the others. Basically, he's either got to be dealing with a ladder gatekeeper or a power bracelet gatekeeper, as Amo's going to get the wand.
Yeah, nice find. So now he's got basically magic sword damage against everything but Wizrobes, which is extremely fun to have. Lets him take down those dark nuts if we happen to have those in level 9. You know, things like that. So Meanwhile, Amo trying to find this Triforce in level 6.
Interesting that we're still missing the red ring this deep in. What else do we not have?
It's got to be the white sword item, or it has to be in level 9, right?
Let's see. We found out level 3 hit the bow. Yeah, we're missing the second item in 9, and we're missing the white sword item.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I think the last one's what, the heart container? Yeah. Emo's still searching out this Triforce. He does get the compass, which is going to be very helpful. Meanwhile, Redbird having issues with the ladder blocks here, and I don't remember which dungeon this was. Is this level 8?
I thought he had both items at 8. We got the...
Oh, he's in...
Did he get the recorder? He got the key.
He did get the recorder, yeah. So he did get both items at 8.
Items.
He's in 5.
He got the Triforce.
Yeah, so finds the red candle in 5. Question is, will he now go to 9, or is he going to go to 7?
He left 9. I gotta think, if you make the decision to leave 9, you're committed to that decision. And I just look at his tracker and I see there's 3 items and only one of them can be in 9.
But if it's the silvers, he is going to go into level 7. I don't know that I'm going to be able to let him live this one down.
Well, you know what? He did it last. I don't think he has any other options right now.
He has the second item in level 9.
Okay. But I still go back to, you can't have 3 items in that one spot.
Well, that's for sure, but it could be the power bracelet in 9.
Triforce for Amo now has the ability to go into level 9.
Yeah, and this is going to be really interesting because he's going to go in there and it's going to depend on when he chooses to leave and search for level 3. Meanwhile, once RBG gets this push block or the power bracelet, he has very few push blocks to check, and he's right next to the ones he needs to find anyway. So it'll be really interesting to see how the end of this works out.
"57-minute mark. Redbirdgrad picks up the power bracelet out of 7. This is 46 minutes later than Amo was able to use it, was able to pick it up. That led to the silvers. It led to the ladder. Ladder leads to book. It is a required power bracelet out of 7 seed.
Yeah, and again,
Amo in 9.
Amo goes and picks up the book, but never buys any of the hints that are right there. One of those could have had the bow hint, perhaps, but we do get the hint for Zelda in northwest of Skull, as he has the compass for it as well. So, kind of redundant, but, you know, information is key, I suppose.
Yeah, it helps you to have a focus of the direction, which is useful for Hyrule's reigning hide-and-seek champion. Now sees the wood boomerang as the first item. And now you know there's only one possible item left in this 9 for the bow. It led Redbird to leave, but Redbird was missing a lot more than Amo was.
Yeah, and Amo just not having a lot of locations to go to either. Lots of bomb walls here, as Redbird is going to find level 1 and is quickly going to notice that it's ladder blocked.
Will he be able to get to the silvers? Or was the silvers completely ladder blocked?
Amo does find Ganon. I likely going to go to a bomb shop and pick up some bombs here.
But we did get the hint that the silvers were ladder blocked, so yeah. Also, Amo did get the compass, so should have an easier time finding Zelda.
It's gonna be really interesting to see what he does. If he goes back to 9, it's gonna depend on how quickly he finds that second item. As he did find Ganon, so he knows the location of Ganon, knows the general location of Zelda due to the compass, just doesn't know the path there. And we are going to see RBG locate level 2 in his ladder. This is quickly turning in RBG's favor.
That was the biggest thing he had going for him, was there were so few places for him to check at that point, and also he's got a lot of resources. But having to do this at the 1 hour mark is what has to feel bad.
Yeah, and RBG walks in, goes down one screen, finds the ladder. Gonna head back to level 1. I can't imagine why he wouldn't.
Here's the one thing that could work against Redbird. Now he's only missing 1 item. It's a lot easier for 1 item to be at 9.
Yeah, but you don't give up on level 1. Level 1's so short. You're gonna go find both items there. No doubt.
Well, once he has silvers, he may not bother with the white sword. Although we found white sword first.
Yeah,
so
white sword is in this room that he's in here right now. So he'll find that, which he obviously isn't going to turn down. That'll be nice to fight Ganon with. Still don't have a red ring. So yeah, he still didn't find the white sword item, which is truly amazing.
So, oh, by the way, Redbird entered 9 for the first time at 48 minutes. Amo gets here 101.
Oh, look at that bomb upgrade for 6 bombs. Meanwhile, Amo trying to get up here, trying to find, looks like the path to Zelda while he's finding the second item here in level 9.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get Patcher out of the way in advance. He's not coming back.
There's the silvers.
Now it's on for Redbird. How fast can he sprint through this 9? So let me run through what we know at this point. Level 1 held the white sword and the silver arrows. Level 2 the ladder. Level 3 the bow. Level 4 the raft. Level 5 the red candle. Level 6 the wand. Power bracelet in level 7. Level 8 the magic key and the recorder. The wood boomerang is one of 2 items in 9. The Armos item was the blue boomerang, coast item the book, with the second item in 9 and the white sword item being unknown. The power bracelet was required in this one. You had to get it out of 7 to be able to get to the ladder, to be able to get to the silvers.
And Amo does find the path to Zelda. He really needs this to be the second item here. And it is not.
The sooner he finds that, the better. But this is Redbird's to lose at this point. All items that he needs.
And finds Ganon with the compass in hand. So, man, catastrophic turn of events required here, I think, for Amo to have any kind of chance.
Redbird's so good at the Ganon combat, he probably practices it as much or more than anyone. And he's happy to teach other runners, so if you check out the Discord, Redbird has actually posted a tutorial for fighting Ganon. And shoot.
I'm trying to find a staircase or just some way to get to the west.
Yeah, I think when you know the room, you're probably a little more inclined to just try and move that direction instead of staircases, but maybe a case where magic staircase is required. This is a very Patra-infested 9.
Always fun. Still no second item here for Amo. Very unfortunate. Finds another path over by Zelda.
Something Redbird would love to have right now. I mean, yes, he's got Ganon down. He knows where Zelda is. But some part of him has to be looking at that 1 hour mark and thinking, if he found the right chain, Amo could be ahead of me right now.
Yeah, especially with that power bracelet in 7. But just, you know, RBG making the right call, goes back to 7, and had all the other information that he needed at that point, and just blitzed through what was left of it.
And I mean, that was a 45-minute difference when Amo got the power bracelet versus when Redbird did. If the bow had not been in level 3, this would have been a completely different race.
Welcome to Zelda 1 Randomizer.
Indeed. We are never short on drama, are we?
Never. DJ Jealous, we don't actually know the white sword item. It was either the heart container or the red ring, and it had to have been either on the Death Mountain push block where the magical sword was, west of Vanilla 9 in First Quest, or one of the 2 bomb locations, I believe, up by the waterfall.
Redbird's found the room. The door is open. And he will take it down with an SRL time of 106.25. Chat, let's see some GGs for Redbirdgrad. And there's our second item. It's the red ring.
Which means the white sword item is the heart container. Man, wow.
Right, so we will try and get Redbird in here soon. That qualifies as soon. Redbird, GG.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
What
I
if
don't want to
I
hear
told you
any questions that I think you're getting ready to ask me? I don't want to hear them.
What if I told you that level 3 was the most perfect place for you for that bow to be?
Why is that?
Amo had the power bracelet at the 11-minute mark. Had the
Oh my god.
Had the ladder. Did not have the bow.
I knew it was a fetch quest type end of this seed when every other overworld spot except for power bracelet stuff was done. And I'm like, please, dear God, don't do this to me.
I am a little disappointed that you left an item in 9 and went back to 7.
I mean, that's
But it was the right play.
Yeah, what is it called? The what game is it? I forget what the logical theory is behind that. If you have 3 doors or whatever, and you're holding on to one, are you supposed to switch? Once you find one item, you're supposed to switch, right? Every time.
Sure.
The Monty Hall theory. Yeah.
No, but I mean, you know, I was happy to see you go to 7. It was just like Trenton was saying, it was insane. Amo walked in. He never even found the Triforce. He just walked the minimum number of rooms and found the power bracelet. And I was saying early on, man, that power bracelet ends up being useful. And he went to like everywhere but level 2 and level 1 first. He found 1, and then he found 2 and got the ladder, went right back, found the silvers, and we're like, oh man, this is about the time you found level 3. And we're like, if the bow is not here, bad stuff is going to happen.
Oh, I felt from like the 25-minute mark, after I got my 3rd Triforce at the 25-minute mark, where I felt like I was doing okay, and then like all of a sudden there was just no items anywhere for me. And I'm like, I am so screwed.
Which is weird, because it was the exact opposite for Amo. He had Power Bracelet, he had Recorder, he had all this stuff that he found, and no Triforces till about 35 or 40 minutes.
Well, if I had to do it over again, the one thing I would not do is leave 8. I had a known level of level 8 up in the northeast, and I left it because I wanted to do a lot of exploration on the west side. Ended up not really doing too much for me, and I kind of just left it out there. And that had Aniki and the whistle. And so I kind of had to double up on some of my overworld that I shouldn't have had to. And like when I was digging keys and levels, I wouldn't have had to do that. So, I mean, there was a lot of time I left on the table here.
As is popular with Randomizer, If you've ever seen our router's relish, you can see just how fast these seeds can be when you understand which way you need to go. But unfortunately, that information is not privy to us whenever we do these races, and it can be extremely difficult sometimes. Again, if the bow hadn't been there, I think it was almost assuredly going to be an Amo's court to throw. But man, you found that, and you didn't have anywhere else left to go other than 9 and 7, and you chose correctly.
No, I was crossing my fingers it was 5 first. And then when I found the red candle in 5, I mean, my heart kind of sank, first of all, because I thought I was just done. I thought I'd lost right there. And then when I went to 7, I knew I had taken 1 stair, so I'm just looking for 1 stair, so very little combat. But the 1 stair I took me like halfway up. So it's like, okay, do I continue doing the rest of the bottom here, or do I take the stair again and go finish out the top? Like it was a tough decision in 7 as well, and luckily I made the right one.
Indeed, sir, you did. So you're going to move on. I'd have to see who you play, but
it will be either Captain Green or Amazing Toaster.
Good
know,
luck,
right?
sir.
Like I'll join Amo in the other bracket here in a second.
Amo has to play the loser of Matrick and BT.
Yeah, this whole tourney is ridiculous, guys.
It's like it doesn't matter where you're at. It's impossible.
So Redbird, when you had the bow, still didn't have ladder or silvers or power bracelet at that point. How do you make the decision of what you're willing to risk being in 9? Because even though you technically only needed 1, you're still looking at the ladder, you're still looking at the power bracelet possibly being needed. You knew the power bracelet had to be blocking levels at that point.
Yeah, I figured it was. And to me, when I'm looking at it from my vantage point, I was 40% that progression was in 9 because I had 5 spots left that progression could be in, and 2 of those are in 9, right? So I went in there thinking, okay, maybe power bracelet or something is in 9, ladder or something like that, and I can pull it out. But when I pulled the boomerang out first, I'm like, okay, well now I'm just 25%. If I die, I'm out. And I was going to keep digging. If I wouldn't have died to that patcher, I'd have kept digging 9 for a little bit because I hadn't found her yet. Little did I know the compass was in the first room, which is crazy. But I hadn't found her yet, so I'm like, might as well dig. I'm going to get some info anyway. And then once I died, I said, nope, let's go check 5 and 7 now.
The other item in 9 was the red ring, which was I think it was in the northwest. It was pretty deep in, which left our white sword item to be the heart container, which was never found by either of you. It had to have been in one of those either bomb locations by the waterfall or perhaps up on Death Mountain in the western portion, or eastern portion. But Amo does get his bow and is going to head back to level 9.
Yeah, I only have 5 spots left. It was the arrow where usually the magical sword is in second quest, and where the letter is in second quest, that push block too, and then the 2 rivers, like you said, and then the northwest push block.
So this is an amusing little anecdote to me. Your first entry to 9 was at 48 minutes. When you left, you ended up coming back in at 102, so 13 minutes difference. That's almost going to be exactly the same margin for Amo leaving 9 and coming back in with the bow now.
I'm sure he probably dug other levels besides trying to find... Had he just not found 3 at all before he went to 9?
Correct.
He had not found 3.
Yeah, that makes sense because, I mean, you're not going to leave 3 without the item.
Yeah, I mean, he found every item in the game other than the white sword cave item at that point. The bow is his second to last item.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of unfortunate because I think he played the seed better from the sound of it. I think he played the seed better than I did. But fortunately, I found 3 before he did. So I had 1 piece and he had like 50, but I had the important one, which that's just rando sometimes. I mean, he probably deserved this win, from what I'm hearing.
As we say, Z1 Randomizer is never short on drama, and that is the way this one went. Because certainly from his perspective, it made perfect sense to go into 9 just missing the bow.
Oh, in a heartbeat, absolutely. Because you need to get some answers in 9 anyway. You got to find Ganon and her, so you might as well try to find some items too.
The thing that was interesting, first of all, you bought meat early, which I thought was kind of interesting. But Amo got the book fairly early because he had the ladder and never bothered to check any of the hint caves. And there was one directly west of the start location, so he never did see any of those hints. But I do wonder if one of those might have given the information of the bow being in 3, which could have changed just a little bit.
Yeah, that changed a lot for sure. And the only reason I bought is because I found a big secret, I believe, at the time, and I think the mediums and smalls were good enough for me to say, okay, let's just go ahead and do it and get out of the way, because the meat was pretty cheap.
Fair enough.
You never did check the hints looking for that one item, though they seemed like they were pretty out of the way.
Well, I mean, there was a hint cave at the whistle spot just west of start, which I don't know that Amo ever checked, to be honest with you, but you know, could have given some information, but we'll never know, as Amo is going to make his way over towards Princess Zelda. Oh, maybe. Just kidding.
Yeah, you won't be able to bomb into her room, or else Ganon couldn't be required, so you have to find the shutter door. That bomb wall opens up, and there's the path. And that will be Amo's completion at 1:15:52. Hopefully able to come and join us soon. Redbird, any other thoughts on this one?
I need to play better. That's about it. I knew that from about halfway through the season on. I need to play better.
Well, clearly you got to get the item out of level 7. That's what it all comes down to.
I've told everybody. I mean, if an item in 7 beats me, it beats me. You know, and this, luckily, I found an item in 3 that he didn't, and was fortunate for me this time. But if I'll take that risk every time, I hate digging 7. I won't do it.
You say that, but you got the Triforce out of there.
Dude, there was nothing going on for me at that point. I'm like, I will pull anything out of this, but the first thing to come out, item or Triforce, I'm done.
Fair enough.
Amo, GG, finished it out.
Okay, guys, GG, RBG.
Hey, GG, bro.
So it was really a tale of 2 different routes, because in your case, you had the power bracelet at, I put this down, 11 minutes into this seed. Redbird didn't get it till 57 minutes into this seed. So you were on completely different tracks.
Well, I hear this thing about Redbird not really liking level 7, so when I realized the power bracelet was in 7, I just had to kind of cross my fingers that something useful was blocked behind the power bracelet, because I figured it might take him a while to get there.
Dude, it took me 50 minutes to get there.
So honestly, like, I routed very differently after that find and tried to check power bracelet spots and found the ladder and was able to not only grab the ladder out of 2, but also get into ladder blocked 1, which is where the silvers were. So at that point, I just needed Triforces and to hope that the bow was someplace that I'd run into along the way. And unfortunately, I didn't know where level 3 was until after you had done already. So I hadn't scouted it out, and I figured at least playing the odds that I'd run into it in 9 or someplace else, and then that just didn't happen.
You actually took a death on Death Mountain at one point. Were you going to check everything and then just didn't go back because of the death?
I mean, it was on my radar to check there. I actually realized very late in the seed that I never found the white sword item. I don't know what that was still.
Heart container. By process of elimination, heart container.
Right, that makes sense. But at that point, I knew where all the rest of the dungeons were. So I didn't think there was... I kind of had to make the gamble that, well, if it's in 3... then I've probably lost because I have no idea where 3 is and it could be all over the place. So at that point, I had to take the calculated risk that the bow was just going to be someplace else, and the odds were, I think, more in my favor that I'd run into it in 9 or someplace, and it just, just didn't work out that way. But I mean, that's kind of what Rando's about. You got to take a gamble and make a play and go with it, and that's what we went for.
Real quick, just because I haven't gotten this in enough, big thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us tonight, and Solid Wife doing a fantastic job on the track. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, Jen, any other questions for the runners?
You get the loser of BT and Matric, Amo. What do you think about that matchup?
I think I'm going to have my hands full with whoever I'm up against in that matchup.
Yeah, no free gimmies.
Yeah, definitely not. I had I matched up with BT in the Swiss, so if it's a rematch with BT, it'll be a fun match, and if it's match rate, that'll be a good one too. So I'm looking forward to it. You're right. There's no freebie matches in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, good game to you both. It was a tight race for sure. It just came down to a few little things. Bo being in 3 was literally what RBG needed to kind of push him in the right direction there. So a bit unfortunate, and just a really crazy location for it. It was next to absolutely nothing else. It just made it difficult to get to.
Yeah, I lucked out. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, I played poorly as far as the routing of it. I died so many times early too. I had a lot of crazy, uncharacteristic deaths for me in the overworld. But man, when you start checking off your Triforces and getting to 5, and you're at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3, and those are the Triforces you did, you probably routed the seed incorrectly, and that's exactly what happened to me this time.
Well, I'll say thank you to you both for a great show, and thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. Hey, Jen, take us home.
Yeah, again, thanks to Speed Gaming for restreaming, Solid Wife for tracking, Trenton for doing comms with me, 2 of our racers. Make sure you go follow them. And with that, there's another race over on Randomania 2 right now between Zarnax 42 and Sis Crusher, so be sure to check that out. And with that, have a good night.